Okay. So, we'll focus now on the black propaganda against President Duterte and China's contribution to the Marawi rehabilitation. We'll start again with the headline about the committed loans grants from China for infrastructure and Marawi's rehabilitation, which has hit 7.34 billion even as of last year, dollars. So even just by basic computation, you're talking about 7 times 5, 35 to 40 billion plus 3.4 billion. Let's say 40 billion pesos alone from China, and the government counterpart of 10 plus billion and some other counterparts. But the biggest component is from China. However, again, you have elements here in Manila, in the media. Many of them, of course, are associated with the American funding agencies. You have Rappler. Inquirer gets funding from North Base, and this is admitted. They have registered this, and Omidyar, I think we have taken a look at that in the past, and so on. And now they have been raising this so-called issue against 2 Chinese companies in the Marawi rehabilitation, blacklisted by the World Bank in 2009, almost 10 years ago, and they're reviving this. In 2009, if you look at it, I highlighted it. That is a long time ago. China State Construction Corporation and China Geoengineering Corporation were blacklisted by the Washington-based multilateral lender after an investigation found that the 2 Chinese firms were among the companies involved in the collusive bidding schemes for a major World Bank-funded road project in the Philippines. Now, remember, yung mga projects like NBN, o ZTE, NBN, and so on, yung North Rail, nagkalabo-labo yan dahil pinapasukan ng politika ng dito sa ating mga politiko. At doon sa case of ZTE, NBN, broadband project and telecommunications project during the time of Gloria Arroyo, nadala ito sa korte, pero alam naman natin yung korte natin, matagal, mabagal, tapos maraming maniobra sa loob. Yung si Abalos, ang prime suspect, may witnesses na, si Lozada, John Lozada, pero naabsolto pa rin. But it is very clear, this Abalos was the one asking for patong. Yung sinasabi ni John Lozada, kung naalala po niyo, bubukol yan. Kung lagay mo sa bulsa, bubukol yan. Nahalata nga. Pero naabsolto pa rin. Anyway, sumagot po yung China State Construction Corporation. Ito ang sagot nila. We regret the World Bank sanction, and hindi ko na babasahin yung buo, but anyway, the statement maintained CSCEC had made complete and accurate disclosure to the World Bank charges and clarified the issues, and so on. The other company is the China Geoengineering Corporation. But if we look at the China Geoengineering Corporation, sino mga partners po nito? That's the next image that we prepared. The company, that's the one, China Geoengineering Corporation. The company has strategic partnerships with WABAG, Siemens, and Pont-a-Mossion. These are German, European, and French companies. China Geoengineering Corporation was founded in 1982 and is based in Beijing, China, with additional branches in Asia and Africa. Now, these are multi-billion corporations, and they have projects all over the world. For example, this one of the banned companies, the CSCEC Engineering Corporation, the first one we mentioned, yung unang ating binanggit, won a contract just this 2017, last year lang. And this is from the Independent, the British news magazine. The LTA awards MRT, not the Philippine MRT, this is Singapore. MRT tunnel contract to Chinese firm previously blacklisted by the World Bank. Singapore is setting aside all this blacklisting by World Bank about these companies and awarding them the projects. And do you expect Singapore to tolerate corruption? the way Singapore has been run by Lee Kuan Yew and his successors, today by his son, General Lee Hsien Loong. Let's read this. The Land Transportation Authority issued a press release announcing that it has awarded the construction of MRT tunnels between Punggol Station and the future Punggol Coast Station on Northeast Line extension to a Chinese firm, China State Construction Engineering Corporation Limited. Now, this is a very big project in Singapore. So, let us not be gullible enough to fall into this black propaganda of the World Bank and its minions in the Philippines. And let us look at the World Bank itself. The World Bank is not free of corruption. This is from the Huffington Post or HuffPost, and it reports the exposés of Hudes, is her first name, Karen Hudes. There you see her picture and an image there about his exposés of the international banking cartel, including the corruption in the World Bank. You need to know about this woman, former senior counsel to the World Bank, Karen Hudes, unleashed recent interviews that should shatter any remaining fairy tales about a functional and law-abiding system of banking and government. The good news is that she is part of a network of World Bank whistleblowers working tirelessly to bring out the facts about this banking cartel and the World Bank. And another one of the biggest scandals in the World Bank, which I was witness to during my time as a columnist, Wolfowitz. Wolfowitz resigns. This was sometime in early 2000s. After it became clear in April of that year, we'll get the year in a while, that he'd helped his girlfriend, Shaha Riza, win a generous salary and a promotion at the U.S. State Department. Riza had been a Middle East expert at the bank until 2005 when Wolfowitz was named president. Okay, this was 2006, 2007, if I recall correctly. But you see, I'm trying to bring out the conflict within the corrupt World Bank. But Wolfowitz also had prominent defenders around the world. The recent strong campaign at the bank against corruption in aid programs and in debtor governments was the product of Wolfowitz's own initiative. So Wolfowitz was campaigning against the corruption of the World Bank, but the insiders in the World Bank exposed his own corruption because of his relationship with Shaha Riza, an Iranian Middle East expert in the World Bank. Naging girlfriend po niya. At binigyan niya ng malaking sweldo, mataas na posisyon. The World Bank is also a human institution. And more importantly, it's also a very political institution. Kung ang IMF, mga French ang nilalagay dyan, itong World Bank, Amerikano po ang nilalagay para mamuno dyan. At yung Asian Development Bank is Japanese. Yung China is one of the biggest contributors already to all these multilateral banks. And they have been requesting to get a seat in the World Bank board and so on, but they could not. So what has China done? China creates a World Bank of its own, and the U.S. balks. Ayaw ng U.S. Ano itong bangko? Well, let's read first the quote here. A newly assertive Beijing felt that it had been unfairly treated for years by the United States. President Obama did not invite China to join the American-driven Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Pact, insisting that Beijing should not be allowed to write the rules for the 21st century commerce and so on. And so with the World Bank. And so China established the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. And so this is now funding hundreds of billions of dollars of projects in Latin America, Africa, in the Middle East, in Asia, in Southeast Asia, and in the Philippines. So, itong mga proyekto ng Duterte government dito sa Pilipinas, including itong Marawi rehab of billions of dollars. And then, of course, yung mga projects dito sa Pilipinas, yung Kaliwa Dam, na 10 billion pesos po, the 170 billion pesos, you can convert that to dollars, but I use the peso figure because it's more understandable. $170 billion, 600-kilometer Manila to Matnog train, and so many other projects. So, the lesson here is let us be intelligent about this black propaganda of various mainstream, yung mga malalaking pahayagan at himpilan ng radyo, TV na nagblablack propaganda laban kay Duterte at sa China. At tayo ay tingnan po natin lagi yung positibo dito sa mga ginagawa na po. And the highly efficient Chinese construction companies have been getting projects even in Britain, even in the United States of America, even in Europe, subway trains, bridges, and so on. Lalabas pa minsan-minsan, they will come out with reports about this negative project, that negative project. Among hundreds of projects, they will keep repeating one or two, like this so-called blacklisting of two Chinese construction companies, which was disputed by these companies, but you will not hear the other side of the story. So we will continue to face a lot of this black propaganda against President Duterte and China, but President Duterte and China will keep producing the results that you will see, especially this year, 2018, starting June, groundbreaking of the Kaliwa Dam, which will provide hundreds of millions of gallons of water for Metro Manila per second, or per minute. I forget the technical description there. But this is the future of our Metro Manila water supply. And of course, China has donated the 2 bridges across the Pasig, which will alleviate traffic in the Rojas Boulevard, Binondo, Manila area, port area, and then of course the Makati traffic between the Rockwell and Pantaleon. So this is the Rockwell or Estrella Pantaleon Bridge and many other projects. So with that, I hope we have helped you keep educated on this black campaign against President Duterte and China. Next, we will discuss the attempted sabotage by the American deep state against Korean peace, where North and South Korea are already talking, and there's a scheduled June 12, if I'm not mistaken, a meeting between Trump and Kim Jong-un. Comes a monkey wrench in the process. Okay, let's take this break.